Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to this beautiful October morning. I'm Reverend Trish Mackey, and I will be able to take you on a journey today, a meditation to set your day in a loving and kind and easy manner. You'll be seeing some slides as we go through our time together, and they're so beautiful. Please enjoy them and picture yourself and see what it is that the picture has to offer you. So, I want to invite you to make yourself comfortable. For those of you who do meditation, you know that that is going to be whatever you choose it to be. And let's look at our beautiful first slide. So, let's take a breath, and as we do, let's embrace and take in and ingest the beautiful shapes of the colors. Color is so beautiful and touches our soul in so many different ways. So, right here and right now, I open myself up to the beauty of life. I see it in its many shapes and its many forms, and the way it moves and the colors. How lovely it is as we look around and see so many different examples of nature. And the nature that touches us is the nature and the relationship we have within us that acknowledges and is touched by the beauty. As we see life in its form, its furry form, its feathery form, what we know is that we are all created in the one presence and the one power and the one life, which is God's. I know that life is beautiful, that with all of its involved and intertwined different examples of life, we know that it is all life. And as we move through life, we understand that we have seasons. We have times when we sit and admire, where we sit and reflect, when we sit and we look at the branches of our lives, of the branches of our history, of the branches of the present, and the many directions in which we show up, many things that we're interested in. As fall comes on us, of course, what we see are the changes of colors and the leaves falling down. How beautiful to see the changes, the interaction, the blending of the two. And life is our blending. So right here, I invite you to look at the different parts of your lives, to look at the different branches, to look at the different leaves, to look at nature, and to know that nature is an expression of your life and the best way in which to live it is to see the many directions, the many opportunities. To look at them and see which of them touches your soul. Touches your soul in a way that lifts you up and brings you joy. And as we look into the skies and the heavens to see the beauty above us as well as around us, we see the beautiful, beautiful sky. Sometimes easy to see, and others perhaps not quite as clear, and yet we know that behind the cloud the sun exists. We know behind the fog that the moon is still there, even out of sight. They are not reduced, they are not eliminated. They are simply there in a different form, a form that we're not able to see, but they're still there. The faith and the trust and the beauty of the universe. For there is only one power, there is only one mind. There's life in its many forms. As we sit still and just breathe into the moment, we see with beyond the physical. We see beyond what our eyes see and sense, what our inner eye sees and our inner thoughts are, and our inner feelings. The beauty of stillness, of calmness. Hidden in every experience of life, there is a living being, a soul that exists. And the relationship between nature and self is one of great love and devotion. The color of a flower, bright and beautiful, and the life of a new creature, breathing, another of God's creation. Again, the life in a form with feathers, beautiful, and giving great joy to those who own them. I breathe into this moment. I inhale the beauty of life. I see life as it circles me, as it brings together the universe and all of its splendor and all of its glory. Beauty in the leaves and beauty in the branches, in the water, in the shapes. Everywhere I look, I see the beauty of the universe. In a rock, the colors and the shapes and the design, and when put together, become a monument that lasts years and years and years, and is there to be seen and observed and amazed at what man created. When open and trusting to the universal mind of this too is possible. Delicate and firm, colorful and drab. The beauty of nature. As we look at the light and the of the day and the darkness of the night, and they merge as they merge together in this beautiful, beautiful combination. Change from one to the other, the ending of one so the beginning of the other can occur. It is life. It is your life. It is my life. I am so grateful for the abundance of life and all that it offers and all that it contains. Each and everything. I embrace it all and know that through it all, I grow and I learn and I understand my connection to this amazing universe and to the Creator who brought it and made it all possible. Beauty touches my soul. I see it in every picture I look at. I see it in everything I look at. Every person, every place, every experience. It is all beautiful. It is all life. All life. It's the eternal cycle. Blessings to you all.
Good morning and welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Eugene. My name is Linda Finley. I am the spiritual director here at this community, and I am so grateful that you could join us today and be with us as we move through this time together. I'm going to put my guide down because it's making noise and that's distracting me. So I'm just going to be kind of flying blind and trusting and knowing that we're right where we're supposed to be. Center for Spiritual Living has been in Eugene for 50 years, and we are celebrating our 51st year with a pandemic. It seemed like really an interesting thing to do, so we're doing it this way. We are, as you see, meeting at the center, and thank Nancy Fisher for this fabulous autumnal altar that she prepared for us. And we do have a couple of people who stopped in, and I'm very grateful to have some live folks in the audience. It makes a difference for me to be able to say, hey. Last week I was speaking at home to my old center in Visalia, the center where I first studied, and I was home in my hallway talking to a camera. So at least here I have the sound people and a couple of live folks, so I do know that I am present with people. These are interesting times in which we live, and the truth of it is God is still here. God is still all there is. Our center's focus is to inspire minds, open hearts, and empower lives using the principles of the teaching known as the science of mind, because basically we know that spiritually empowered people live richer and fuller lives, and that's what we want for everyone in the world. We want a world that truly works for everyone. So we've been reviewing our principles. About 100 years ago, our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, created a statement of a declaration of principles, and we kind of broke them down into pieces, and we've been sharing one. It worked out to 13, so it basically is every quarter. It's the 1st of October, so it's the 4th quarter, and we're starting with we're starting at the top of the list again. And this is the most important and foundational of the principles to me. We believe in God, the living Spirit Almighty, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. This one manifests itself in and through all creation, but is not absorbed by its creation. The manifest universe is the body of God. It is the logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of God. And what that means is what we call God, which I'll be talking about later, is all there is. There's only one source, there's only one power, there's only one substance, there's only one supply, there's only one, manifesting itself in millions and millions and billions of different ways. But it still all comes back to the one energy, the one infinite life living itself by means of each of us. I'd like to now call back our wonderful practitioner, Reverend Trish Mackey, whom you heard doing the meditation earlier. Beautiful meditation, and thank you, Trish, for that. And she's going to do an opening treatment to set the tone for today's message. So thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Linda. So as I invite you to allow yourself to be comfortable in this space and prepare yourself for an absolutely exciting adventure, for everything that you received today is because of the gift you gave yourself by being here, by showing up, by putting yourself as the most important person in your life. So let's know that there is one power and one presence in the universe, and it's called God. And every day I use it in the words that I say and the thoughts that I have and the actions that I take. I know that there is nothing that creates except for the universal power. One power, one presence. And I know that wherever I am is exactly where that power and presence exists. So right here and right now, the gift I have given myself is a gift of magnificent magnitude. I open myself up to the unknown to the expanded to the enlightened to the I'm not sure yet feeling of life and what it still has to bring me today, tomorrow, next week, forever. For I know that I am the one that creates my experiences. And I do that by being and knowing that I am God in expression. I am it. And my job, my responsibility, my ability to be the hands and the eyes and the ears and the heart of this immense love is mine and mine to do. So, right here and right now, I am grateful for the fact that I have given myself this gift of being present in this time with Reverend Linda at the Center for Spiritual Living in Eugene in any form, and being with the people who are online and being with the people who are present in the sanctuary. I know in gratitude that all is right with the world, all because all is right with my life. I choose only that. I choose peace. I choose abundance. I choose perfect health and joy. And I know that as I choose it, it is mine. It is my experience. I give myself a pat on the back and a hug around the shoulders to know that I have put myself as number one in my life by being present and by being in this teaching and by learning and being willing to open myself up to the greater good, which is what the universe wants to give me. And I am ready to accept it, totally open and receptive in gratitude for all that, every word that's going to be spoken, the music that we hear, our time together, and the time that will follow is perfect and wonderful. In gratitude, I know it's done, it's over, it's complete, absolutely perfect. And end it by saying, and so it is. And so it is.
So it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Trish. We'll see you back later to bless the offering. Well, it's October, it's a new month, and we have a new affirmation. We have a practice at our center each week that we do an affirmation for the month. It is an affirmation that's in alignment with our theme for the month, and this month's theme is cosmic connections. And we repeat it. I say it once, and then we say it together aloud, because not just hearing it and speaking it, having it together, the sight and the sound adds to the power of it in our manifestation. So it's on the screen so you can see it clearly. I'm going to read it first so you can just kind of take it in, and then I'm going to repeat it. And when I repeat it, I'm trusting that you guys are saying it with me. So, I am part of a web, an infinite web of connection. Every part of the universe is connected to me, and I am connected to it. I send love, peace, and the energy of wholeness out to the world. And together, I am part of an infinite web of connection. Every part of the universe is connected to me, and I am connected to it. I send love, peace, and the energy of wholeness out to the world. I trust that we can remember that connection, because right now we're living in a time where the news and the social media and all of the things that we're seeing and hearing are telling us that we're separate and that we're divided and that we're not alike and that we're not one and that we need to be in battle with one another. And that could not be farther from the truth. It's the equivalent of battling with ourselves. It's the equivalent of slapping ourselves on the face. It does no good and it looks pretty silly. So what I'm going to ask this week is that we work with the idea of seeing one another in ourselves. I am so delighted that we have a couple of recordings this week from our beloved friend Gary Lynn Floyd, who is absolutely one of the heart and soul of New Thought's musical community. He is a beautiful, beautiful human being, and he's going to be singing a song for us now, and then one later after we do the offering. So if we'll bring up Gary Lynn Floyd, we'll all just sit back and be bedazzled. We seem to be having a little problem with the video. We seem to be having problems with the video. So my sense is we're going to have a little bit of Gary Lynn Floyd later, but not right now. So I was all set to be just totally mesmerized by the beautiful sound of his voice and the music and just be transformed so that I could speak for you. I'm flying on my own, just me and God here. So here we go. The theme this month is cosmic connections. The idea that I've been talking about so far, that Reverend Trish spoke about, is that we're all part of one infinite energy. That the foundational basis of the entire teaching of the science of mind, the principle that I read today, is God is all there is. And I was teaching class this week, and one of my students says, you know, you use the God word a lot, the G word. And I said, I realized that. I said, of course, because the class is a lot of students who've been in the teaching for a number of years and they understand. But I know and I am aware that there are people for whom that word is a trigger, for whom that word is problematic, because when they hear the word God, they think of a guy, a being, an old man with a beard and a bad attitude, sitting up on a throne, throwing lightning bolts and taking notes on everything that we're doing. And when I came to this teaching, and I was actually, you know, I had a more loving sense of God. I had a pretty loving upbringing in church, but it was still an out there God who was separate from me. And Jesus was kind of the connection to. And when I got here, but I knew there was something more. I knew there was something more. And when I found this teaching and the idea that God is not a being, God is not a thing, God is everything. God is the whole Megillah. God is the universe, and I am a cell in the body of God. I am a drop of water in the ocean that is God. I am a star in the night heaven that is God. All of these things are simply metaphors for the idea that there is an infinite, limitless energy. Quantum physics describes it. That there is this energy of which everything is composed. And each of us is part of it. And each of us is connected to it. That the air, very air we breathe is air that was breathed by John F. Kennedy. The air that was breathed by Jesus the Christ. Air that was breathed by Aristotle. By King Tut. By all of the ancients. Partake of the same air. It's all being reworked, recycled, redone. Everything is regrowing. The energy doesn't go away. It's transformed, transfigured. And that energy is God creating the universe out of itself. So the other words that I have for God are spirit. Spirit is in and through all things. Spirit is the energy of life moving. The infinite is just that, infinite. It is everywhere present. We call it divine mind because it has a bigger idea, a divine idea. In 12-step, they call it the higher self, a higher power. I mentioned we call it quantum physics. We call it the universe. The universe, it's like, don't say, wow, could it get any worse? Because the universe is going to take that as a challenge and try to, see what it can do to come up with something more. Actually, believe it or not, there is an interview in which George Lucas, who was interviewed, and the bookcase behind him, there was a Science of Mind textbook. And in talking to one of the ministers in our teaching, he says, well, what do you think the force is? So that's what I'm talking about. It is the force. So when we talk about God, that's an easy catch-all phrase that encompasses all of that. And the thing of it is, when we realize that if God is indeed all there is, if God is indeed the energy and the intelligence that is behind everything that is going on here, then it is in and through each one of us. There is no place where God is not. So every blade of grass, every grain of sand, every drop of water, every being, whether it's the teeniest, tiniest gnat, a virus, perhaps, or a giant elephant, or some of the dinosaurs that lived in the past, all of that is an expression of the divine on the earth experiencing life. So if God is all there is, I can't be separate from it, nor can anyone else, nor can anything else. And so whatever I'm calling my brother, my sister, I'm calling myself. That's the thing that I want us to all try to understand is the eyes with which I am seeing, that which I am seeing come from me. What I am seeing comes out of myself. If I see evil, it's because I have a sense of evil in me. That doesn't mean I'm evil, but what I want us to get, and what the title of this talk is in that cosmic connection, is at some level, everyone is just like me. Just like me. Just like me. Oh, look, that person is angry. Just like me. Oh, like that person's being stupid. Just like me. Because everything I see is a reflection of me. So, everyone is doing the best that they can with what they have in the time they have. I'm here to tell you right now that even if you're on your last thread, if you are down to absolutely thinking my last nerve is shot, the camel is back, is about to be broken by the straw that is being laid down now, you're doing the best you can and you're not doing anything wrong. If you're feeling anxiety, that's because your nervous system is working properly. Everything is off center right now. Everything feels out of sync right now. The earth underneath us feels almost as though it is moving right now. And according to some things that are being said about the fault zones, that may be happening sooner rather than later. So what I'm trying to say is, it would be abnormal if you were not having some nervous issues, if you were not upset, if you were not frustrated, if you were not in the least bit frightened. And what I also want you to get, and this is what we tend to forget, is there are two energies, love and fear. And fear is simply the absence of love. But every positive emotion, every positive good thing that we feel can be traced back to love. And every negative, anxious, raging, frustrated feeling that we have can be traced back to fear. And if fear is the absence of love, then how do we fix all of that? By applying love. And if it didn't work the first time, then we just apply more love. Use a little bit more of the medicine. You know, a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. When the medicine is love, it should go down easily, I would hope. But sometimes it can feel odd or difficult to apply love when I'm feeling threatened, when I'm feeling frightened, when my fears are being activated. So then what do I need to do? I need to first love myself. Love myself enough to know that God is with me in this, that there is only one here, and it's okay. We must recognize our oneness in every occurrence that is going on. This too is me. This too is a reflection of my soul. This too is a reflection of how I am feeling. Our work, and it is work, is to connect these cosmic connections that we talk about for this month. The first connection is with ourselves. If I am not connected to who I am, if I am not connected to my story, if I am not connected to my history, if I am not connected to my dreams, if I am not connected to my soul, I have no way of connecting to the world. So my first thing each day needs to be to check in with me. How am I doing today? How do I feel today? Does it feel a little, I'm moving a little slower today? Okay, so I'm going to take it slow and easy. I'm going to be gentle with myself. But I'm going to do things that care for myself. Just because it's a day off doesn't mean I don't brush my teeth. Just because it's a day off doesn't mean I don't eat some good food that feed my body. I check in with me. I care for me because my inner child is still there. I don't care how many decades I have lived in my life. My inner 6-year-old is still there. And my inner 6-year-old probably wants popcorn and chocolate. But my inner 6-year-old needs vegetables and healthy food to grow strong bones. That doesn't stop when I get older. The older I get, the more I need strong bones. So I need to care for myself. I need to connect with myself, care for myself, listen to myself. When I'm feeling frustrated and angry, I need to listen to okay, anger, what is it you're trying to tell me? Okay, fear, what is it you're trying to get me to see? Because oftentimes when I listen to my emotion, it will calm down and trust that it's done its job and step back, and I can go on and begin thinking normally now. Okay, now that I'm aware that I need to think about that, maybe I do need to think about that. Or maybe I've already solved that problem and my fear just needs to be aware. We need to connect with spirit. On those days when connecting with ourselves seems hard, we really need to connect to the one, to the source, to the force, to whatever. I think I just mixed metaphors there. I believe that's Star Trek. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. There is a place within us that knows there is something greater. There is a place in us that is hungry. I know in my mid-40s, I had been smoking for 25 years, and I realized I needed to quit. And when I quit, it was a rough process. But at the end of it, when I got through dosing myself with the thing that was trying to cover whatever I was medicating myself for, I realized I was starving for spirit. I realized that I had no connection to the divine. I had no connection to the infinite. I had no connection to that which is greater than my fear, that which is greater than my material life. And so I have, for almost 30, well, 25, 27, God knows how many years now, really made a concerted effort to be part of a spiritual practice at a regular time and do spiritual readings each day and do spiritual quietness, writing, walking. Walking can be a spiritual practice, especially if you're out in nature and not at the gym. But even at the gym, you can put yourself into a place where you're repeating affirmations and doing things. Anything you do can be a connection to spirit and a spiritual practice if you consciously make it so. And finally, we connect with ourselves, we connect with our spirit. And then we really need to connect with each other. And when we see things that look amiss to us, that look ugly to us, that look wrong to us, that look like it needs correcting, it doesn't mean that we don't do the work of social justice. It doesn't mean that we don't speak up when we need to speak up. But what it means is we don't see that individual as flawed or broken. We see past the behavior to the truth of them, which is they are just like me. They started out just like me. They learned how to live in this world just like I did. They learned different things than I did, but we all started from the same point, which is spirit. And so seeing one another in that helps us to see that there is no other here. There's nobody to fix. There's nothing that is essentially broken. There is only a new way of seeing things and a new way of being with them. The connection with ourselves, the connection with spirit, the connection with each other are all the same connection. When I'm connecting with myself, I am connecting with spirit. When I'm connecting with myself, I'm connecting with the other. When I am connecting, there's only one energy that's being connected. If God is all there is, God is the energy of me, God is the energy of spirit, God is the energy of everyone else. It is the movement of the divine within us, around us, and through us that creates this world. There's a quote from the Science of Mind text I'm going to read, and then we're going to do a little meditation to close out today, and hopefully we'll have solved the music track and be able to have music, but whether or not that is so, Dr. Holmes, this is from page 140, paragraph 4 in the textbook, if you so desire to go check it out and look at it. What we outwardly are and what we become depends on what we're thinking. For this is how we use the creative power. Our thinking becomes our beliefs, or our beliefs become our thinking. There's debate which it's a chicken and egg conundrum. Do we think ourselves into beliefs, or do our beliefs bring us into our thinking? I think they're a dance that we do, but either way, then those become our actions. And then we set in force our intentions. And then we let the karmic wheel begin to move. It's inexorable moving, the cause and effect. We use the creative power by setting our ideas in action. So today's idea, today's use of the cosmic power is to see that everyone is just like me. So I'm going to ask that everybody just get comfortable. I'm going to say these phrases, and we're going to repeat them out loud. And I'm going to ask the people in the room with me here, if you choose to do so, please repeat them out loud. I encourage the other people to repeat them out. So I'm going to say them, and then we'll say them again out loud together, kind of like we did. So what I want you to do right now is get comfortable, and in your mind's eye, don't pick the most difficult person you can think of, but pick somebody with whom you are having issues at the moment. Not giant issues, not life-threatening issues, but just things are off kilter with this person. So does everybody have somebody that they can think of that's not, you know, the worst person in the world, but just somebody that they're having trouble feeling the love for, right? And then we're going to say these sets, and we're going to do this twice, I think. So I'm going to go through all of these statements. I'll say them, and then we'll say them together. So think of this person now. Just like me, you are seeking some happiness in your life. Together. Just like me, you are seeking some happiness in your life. Second one. Just like me, you are trying to avoid suffering in your life. Just like me, you are trying to avoid suffering in your life. Number 3. Just like me, you have known sadness. Together. Just like me, you have known sadness. Third one, or fourth one. Just like me, you want to be loved. Just like me, you want to be loved. Fifth one. Just like me, you were once an innocent child. Together. Just like me, you were once an innocent child. Finally, just like me, you are a spirit on a journey. Just like me, you are a spirit on a journey. Now stop for a moment and see how you think and feel about the person that you were just holding in consciousness as you said this. Could you feel at some level, I'm not saying a complete reconciliation, but a compassion and an understanding? So we're going to do the one about seeking happiness. Just like me, so let's go together. Just like me, you are seeking some happiness in your life. Just like me, you're trying to avoid suffering. So together, just like me, you are trying to avoid suffering in your life. Just like me, you've known sadness. Just like me, you have known sadness. Just like me, you want to be loved. Just like me, you want to be loved. Just like me, you were once an innocent child. Just like me, you were once an innocent child. And just like me, you are a spirit on a journey. Just like me, you are a spirit on a journey. I'm going to post that exercise in the Facebook Center for Spiritual Living UG Facebook group. So if you want to access it, you can get the mantra there and use it as many times as you like. I also want to remind people before we go to the offering that a lot of people are not aware. These videos are on the Facebook page, the Center for Spiritual Living Facebook page. If you click on videos on that page, every video since March is there. So if you missed it on a Sunday, you can go back and watch one. Just pick a week and watch it. So it's not like you snoozed, you lost it. You've got an archive. So on those days when you're feeling, I really could use a little bit of some prayer time, come check out one of the meditations or come listen to one of the talks. That's what it's there for. That's the beauty of the technology, is we may not be able right now to meet in person with large groups. We have a few people here, but we are able to reach anybody anywhere at a time of need. So I want to now ask Reverend Trish to come back and do the offering. And And then we'll go right into, hopefully, Gary Lynn Floyd. Otherwise, it'll come back to me. I'll know if it comes back to me.
Thank you, Reverend Linda, for that wonderful reminder of how important and how great we really are and magnificently designed. At this time, we always give you the opportunity to show your appreciation for the service and the words that we hear, and just being the ability to be together and to have learned this teaching. And the way in which you can do that shows on the screen in the many ways, as far as going to the website, or some of the, you can text, PayPal, you can mail, just mail an address. But more than anything, it's knowing that when someone gives you a gift and you say thank you, that you say it because you really appreciate the effort and the thought that went behind it. Our Sunday morning gatherings here are the same thing for me, is that I have been given a gift of being either reminded or learning for the first time or expanding my understanding of it. And the way in which I can say thank you for that is to give my gift in gratitude for all of the many things that I've received over my lifetime from the universe. It's such a small thing to do, and yet it's like anything given is multiplied and overflowing. So I invite you to take your offering in your hand, whether that be in whatever form that you choose, and to hold it on your heart and add love to it. And to know that whatever I give freely, I give honestly, I give knowing that as I give, it is multiplied, pressed down, and overflowing to the whole world and to me as well. For it is all good, it is all God, for money is just an energy of God. So I honor it, I share it. I know that I am always not only replaced with it, but overflowing and multiplied, which allows me to now share more. So I give my gift as I give my life, with no strings attached. I am grateful for all that has been, all that is, and all that still is yet to be revealed. I let this go knowing that the words I have spoken are the truth. And I invite you to join me in saying, and so it is.
Good morning, Center for Spiritual Living, Eugene, Oregon. My name is Gary Lynn Floyd. So nice to be with you this morning. I wish I could be there in person, but we'll just have to settle for this. Thank you, Linda Finley, for the invite. This is a brand new song off a brand new CD. It's called Lead Me Where I'm Led. I wrote it with my partner, Danny. Hope you enjoy it. I am stable and secure. I surround myself with joy. Take care of my well-being. Cosmic vibes have got me singing. I am stable and secure. I am stable and secure. I surround myself with joy. Take care of my well-being. Cosmic vibes have got me singing. I am stable and secure. From the soles of my feet to the top of my head, yeah. When the flow is complete, I will go where I'm led. Lead me where I'm led. Lead me where I'm led. Lead me where I'm led. Karen says I'm too blessed to be stressed. Eddie says I am the place where God shows up. And Jamie says love is my religion, helps me make my own decision to be stable and secure. From the soles of my feet to the top of my head, yeah. When the flow is complete, I will go where I'm led. Yeah. Lead me where I'm led. Lead me where I'm led. I am stable and secure.
Okay. Technology, the joys and adventures in technology. Whee! Oh, well, it's time for announcements. And as they bring up the announcement screens, I want to remember it is the first Sunday in October. And so that is birthday Sunday. So those of you at home who have October birthdays, please stand up so we can sing for you. I'm going to lead this. It's happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, everybody. Happy birthday to you. And I know that your time is wonderful and beautifully spent and blessed. And we'll get together soon and celebrate all these birthdays together with one giant, humongous birthday cake of some sort. In the meantime, we have, let's see, after service, be sure to stay with us. There's a post-service meeting on Zoom. If you didn't get the email, go to the Facebook group, CSL Eugene group, and scroll down a few, because a few people have posted since then, but there's a thing where it's got a picture of a Zoom screen, and there's a link there to the after meeting Zoom. Kathy Day, our new practitioner, is going to be hosting that for us. So we'll get a chance to see each other's faces and hear each other's voices. So I encourage you, if you can, it's only going to be 20-30 minutes at the most, but just to give us a chance to check in with each other and say hey. So I invite you to do that. Next, we've got Thursdays, starting in October, well, it's actually started this Thursday, but I think you may still be able to get into it because it is an 8-week class. The class in self-mastery, it is an accredited class, and it's being offered through the home office. If you are interested in taking it, contact us. We'll connect you with Angela so you can get registered. And it is one of the best classes we offer, and so I do recommend it, and Angela's a wonderful teacher. And if you're all interested in moving forward in learning more about this teaching, self-mastery is a great place to start. Remember when we did connections, the first one was with self. Okay, then October 25th, after the service, we're going to have a Zoom meeting that is the annual membership meeting, and we'll be welcoming 7 new members. I'm so excited for that. And also electing 1 or 2 new people to the board and talking about what we do and how we're moving forward in the midst of all of this stuff, and what it's like that church isn't just the building. The community, the beloved community, is more than just the Sunday meetings. So please, if you can, plan on joining us for that. And then that's right, Thanksgiving Eve. We don't have an exact time set, but it will be the night before Thanksgiving, Wednesday evening. The night before Thanksgiving, we're going to do a Zoom meeting to connect and share gratitude with one another. Probably 45 minutes or so online, 30 to 45 minutes, just a connecting time to do some prayerful consideration of gratitude, and then to share all the way around what each of us is grateful for. One of the things we're grateful for as we move forward and planning a new future. And I think that's all we've got. Oh, and yeah, and the 50th anniversary is essentially going to be a 50+1. And we'll be celebrating next year sometime, and we'll just go with that. And beyond that, take care of yourself, take care of each other. Remember, when you see somebody doing something that you want to judge or name or point at, maybe think, wow, that's just like me. They're just like me. They're upset about something and they're acting in a way that really isn't who they are. Just like me. I do that too. I love you. I miss you. I want to embrace each and every one of you, and we'll see you soon. We'll see you online.